Welcome back, everybody. I want to thank everybody that's been logging on, watching us on here on Exposed, which is a Detroit web series. You can catch every Monday at 10, where I have different guests that will help us just view into other people's lives and what's going on in different parts of the world. So I want to thank everybody that's been viewing us and checking us out. But today's episode, I hope everybody checked out last week's episode where we talked about Detroit's murder rate and how horrific it is here, and just trying to change that and trying to get people back here to invest in our city and get things back on track here. So that's one positive thing we're working towards here in Detroit. But for today's episode, we're going to be talking about who our favorite actress is. If you guys remember, we started off this new season talking about who our favorite actor is. So we're going to switch things up today and give you a different view of the entertainment world. We're today my guest, who is Jimmy Cousteau. How you doing today, Mr. Cousteau?
Hey, I'm doing fine out there. How y'all doing down here in the nice city of Detroit, which is my first time visiting?
Okay, that's what's up. We're glad to have you here. Now, Mr. Cousteau, he starred in a movie called Little Orphan Annie in 1981. Jimmy Cousteau, who is now 37, he does Broadway plays and musicals, and he does comedy as well. So before we get into this week's updates, I think I want to ask a few questions to Mr. Cousteau and just get to know him a little better, if that's okay with you.
Oh, that's just fine with me.
Great. So who is your favorite actress that you would have worked with?
Well, I mean, I don't think she would be my favorite actress, but a lady that I would like to work with go by the name of Selma Hayek. I'm sure everyone's heard of her, and every guy out there knows who Selma Hayek is.
Okay, she is a pretty good actress, and she's not ugly or anything. That's all I can say about her. But moving on, okay. So name 3 great actresses you would say that are great actresses.
Well, just based off of pure acting and not looks, I go with Loretta Devine, Miss Neve Campbell, and Regina King, who we all know from Poetic Justice with Tupac Shakur was in there.
Rest in peace, my sweetheart. But yes, she is a very good actress, and she still is acting to this day, so she's very good at what she does. Okay, so what kind of movies do you do your best work in? Would you say A, plays, B, comedy, action, for C, D, thriller, or E, all of the above, and explain if that's the case?
Well, I'm a great actor, on and off screen. I'm Oscar worthy, so I gotta pick all the above, D.
Okay, that's what's up. So you look like you work hard for your money, and that's what we like to see here on Exposed. That's why we got you here to reveal the truth to the world. So moving on. Now we know Mr. Jimmy Cousteau's favorite actress is Loretta Devine, and we're going to hear a little bit of her bio as well as my favorite actress bio later on in the episode. But we're going to jump right into this week's updates. And I think I'm going to start outside of the city right now because there's always a lot of info going on here in the city. Actually, heartfelt things are happening here every day, and I have no problem in exposing this to the world if this saves a life or helps get this city back where it once had been. So let's start off with this one update, which I'm so sad about. I feel like so bad about Ray J being sick. And I'm wondering what's up with that. I mean, sources are saying that Ray J actually felt sick and was hospitalized after the Billboard Music Awards he previously was in. But,
what the hell did he have?
Well, we don't know if he had anything, what happened, but what sources do know, and info that we do have from TMZ, is that the R&B pop star had gotten into it with the former queen, which we all will miss and love, Whitney Houston. He had got into it with her family after the Billboard Awards. Sources are saying that Ray J crashed and burned the morning after the Billboard Awards and landed in the hospital. TMZ has learned, we're told Ray J was extremely upset after a confrontation with Whitney Houston's family, notably Pat Houston, during the award ceremony. On Monday morning, someone went into Ray J's hotel room and realized the singer was out of it and he couldn't get out of bed. We're told Ray J was extremely disoriented and was immediately taken to the hospital by ambulances.
Wow.
Yes. So everybody's like skeptical. But before I tell you my view, I'm going to just finish going on from what they're saying happened, which was, as for what happened, it looks like looking like a combo of exhaustion and dehydration. Ray J had just returned from a quick 12-hour round trip to China from business, and when he landed, he immediately drove 4 hours to Las Vegas for the award show. Ray J is still in the hospital. No word on when he will be released. So he's still hospitalized. And a lot of people are feeling the same way you're feeling, Mr. Gusto. They're like, I mean, this is a bunch of bullshit, because I want to know what you guys think and what's your view. I personally do believe that his relationship with Whitney Houston was kind of skeptical from the beginning, because what we want to know, what America wants to know, do you think that they were sleeping together? Had they started using drugs together? I mean, what were they doing? They were partying. They have pictures of them hanging out late and him escorting her to her car and doing all sorts of things with her. And the way he was so hurt from her death, I just wonder, if something could be going on, and now he's getting sick and the family just really wants nothing to do to him. So I won't do with him. So I do want you guys' view on this update. I want you guys to go on to youtube.com, channel sexy.5526, where you can catch all the episodes of Exposed now. While you can catch them anytime. Google them at sexy.5526 and just go on to this episode where you can leave your comment or your view on what you may think as far as what Ray J and Whitney Houston's relationship really might have been.
That's good advice right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
Yes, and you want to find out about that, you can go on to www.tmz.com for all their information and latest celebrity gossip. Moving on, I've really been sad and kind of disgusted because we, Detroit, and so many other cities pushed hard for the return of this show, and this show has done 2 seasons now since it's been back, and to see that the 2 actors that started the show, Tia Mowry and Pooch Hall, has been fired from the BET show, The Game, that premieres before the show Let's Stay Together. It's one that has, now since it's been on for a while, it's been one of my favorite shows, and I will miss that definitely to see that it go. But sources are saying it will be interesting to see how the show moves forward from here, because their characters, Duran and Melanie, are central to the Game plot, because the show started out being starred around Tia Mowry, and most people want to realize who will take that spot, even though we see Brandy stepping up. Coincidentally, that we were just talking about her brother, but we're seeing her stepping out now and stepping up into her role into the Game and doing a great job, I may add. But at the same time, like I said, I've got used to seeing Tia and Pooch and representing hard for them, and to see them return great actors together. So they will be missed on my half on that. And so just wondering where would the show go from now and what would the storyline be. But it's possible with the line of actors and actresses that they have on the show that it could possibly make it. But I mean, you guys could always come on and give your view about what do you think could possibly happen. But they're just saying that the news first surfaced when the radio personality Dee Dee McGuire tweeted Dee Dee McGuire Radio. Wow, for all those that watched the game on BET, Tia Murray just told me she was informed an hour ago that she was fired from the show. So basically, she didn't even know that she was fired. You know, I'm pretty sure Pooch Hall was not informed, but the way the storyline has, from the last episode, it seems as though Pooch may even be staying and it may just be Tia leaving. So either way it goes, I wish for you guys the best. I do know that Tia and her twin sister Tamara do have a show that I do also watch that will continue to show, and new seasons begin, I believe this month, on Style Network. So you can catch her and still see all of her greatness in her new baby Cree, and just enjoy that, as well as Pooch Hall being involved in all kind of new movies coming up. So that's positive for the both of them.
That's what's up.
Okay, so moving on into some more reality news. One of my other favorite housewives that I do like a lot is New Jersey's Housewives. I do watch them a lot, and this is their new season as well that is going to be watched and unfold, a lot of drama, and just you just see a different culture come together with family, because I always thought of New Jersey being a more family-oriented housewives, and they're more close, you know, one on the show is basically related. So, you know, it's a lot of drama, a lot of deep tension and things that unfold within the show. But they all rich, all have money, live good lifestyles, and so...
sounds like it'll be a good one.
Yeah, and it always comes on your favorite Housewives reality channel, which would be Bravo, and you can catch that on Sundays. But I wanted to just, you know, give you a brief tutorial of the ladies that's on there, because you have Jacqueline Larita, who is a sister-in-law to Caroline on the show. Then you have Kathy Willicke, who is cousins to Teresa Giudice, who is the sister of Melissa's Gorgas husband. So there's so many connections without even me really basically telling you the drama that's going to be unfolding this season. And it's kind of dramatic and cheesy, but at the same time, it's reality. So who doesn't love that?
They all connected, seem like shit.
Yeah, so moving on to one of my last updates around the world. From the creators of Mob Wives. I know you guys all got into that because I did too, and I loved it. It was a great show. It did have its reunion just recently on VH1. Could continue to be a very great reality show, because now they'll be traveling to different cities to see how different mob wives live and some of the things that they go through and how they survive. So the next city that they're going to be venturing out to is Chicago. So it's going to be a Chicago Mob Wives. And and that's going to be coming on to VH1 as well. It's scheduled to come out June 10th. And the Mob Wives Chicago they say the preview is going to be so live. So I want to push that and hope that everybody get a chance to watch that. And it should be pretty much a good show.
That sounds like it's gonna be good. Badass Chicago.
Yeah, and it's a lot of like juicy gossip stories within the shop that's gonna be going on there as well, because they have another show coming out called Chicago Licious. So I get them too confused. Now, if you ever knew that there was a show called Jersey Licious, which I ended up loving, many made it start off not really too much getting into it, but once you watched it, you really end up loving the show. And so I believe Jersey Licious will continue, but there will be a new show called Chicago Licious. So both Chicago Licious and My Wives Chicago are both produced by the same people. I guess that's why it made me bring those two people up. And I just want to promote those two shows coming. And I believe Chicago Licious will be on Channel Style as well, so you can catch that. Now, for some Detroit updates before we get into this week's episode, who's your favorite actress, I just want to talk about some of the things that's been going on here because, like I said, last week's episode was very special because I wanted to reach out to all the Detroiters and let them know how serious it has gotten here. Daily, we're losing people, defenseless kids and mothers and seniors are dying, and we're just looking for some type of reaction from the world of people that we know are surrounded by these murderers and people that are, evil and sick, so that maybe we can get together and find a way to get these people off the street. Oh, yeah. So I was hoping and praying that everybody got a chance to catch last week's episode, and if not, you still have a chance to catch up. The season is just starting. But let me get into this week's updates for Detroit. Now, in Detroit, there were bodies of a man and woman found in Detroit. I believe this was on the east side. This is just more cases, even past last week's episode, that are still happening. It's not meant to say that Detroit is a bad place, because everyone, like I say, is not like that here. But, it's hard to survive in a city where no one is really responding, no one is saying anything. They know their neighbors or their friends are involved with these type of things, and they're not doing anything, so that puts everyone in a bind. But in this case, police say the bodies of a man and a woman were found. They were found outside the home on the city's east side. The bodies were discovered early Friday morning after officers responded to a 911 call on the 15900 block of Gasless Work. Police say the two deceased victims were male and females in their 30s. The names of the victims weren't immediately released. Police say that there were wounds on the bodies, and the Wayne County Medical Examiner would determine the final cause of their death. So, this is just an example, and I'm going to put this back up here because, this may not be anybody you know at this time, but the next time you see an update, it could be somebody you know. So, the thing about it is, we know somebody who has the potential to harm somebody, who really has no love or no heart, or, we should report these people to someone that can help get these people off the street. Why lose your life or go to jail trying to protect your home because you have not told anyone that this is going on around you? Some people always talk about snitching, but when it comes to saving a young child or your family or loved one, I don't believe that snitching should be involved when it comes to things like that. Moving on to another update.
That's what's up.
Pregnant woman set on fire and shot. This was another update that hit Detroit kind of hard after the episode of last week's Detroit's murder rate that I put out, hoping that some of the Detroiters and across the world people would just see, what's going on. I do believe in some cases here that maybe even the death penalty would set some of these people straight, because I don't know what else to expect from these people that, they're not scared anymore of the police. They're shooting at the police, and these things still occur. So I think the best thing to do is start letting it be known that there are consequences for some of the things that you do here. Not even just say death penalty, for every person that dies here or that is killed, but just for just crimes. If it fits the crime, you should pay for it, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, now we have little kids dying, seniors are being robbed and killed, so many different cases and stories you may hear going on here, and I do believe it's not because of the people here, it's maybe because how the city is being structured, what some people believe that is allowed to happen here. So we do have to start talking and reaching out. And so this pregnant woman, she was shot and set on fire at the end of the last week. The Warren woman was expected to make a full recovery after she was set on fire and shot. Now, the 22-year-old victim is 9 months 9 months pregnant. We're told the baby appears to be fine. So she was blessed. She was shot and set on fire and she still survived. So these people that harmed her and wanted to harm her and her baby, I wonder, did they ever think twice of what they did? You know, and they probably have bad nightmares for the rest of their life for the things they did. So it'll be best to get these people off the street anywhere because they're not in the right frame of mind. Whether it's your family member, you know, the best thing to do is to save your loved one, you know, from jail time or dying, because, you know, when you harm someone else, you cannot expect for karma not to come back to you.
Okay.
You know, it's going to come back somehow. So, according to the Warren police, someone grabbed a 22-year-old from behind and pointed a gun at her head. Then duct taped her hands, mouth, and feet. The woman was then driven to a vacant lot where she was dosed with lighter fuel. So he did all these things to her, and these people believe that this is the ex-boyfriend that done this. So, I mean, I got some other cases I'm going to talk about because, you know, some things that happened that had me kind of down. I'll talk about that next week's episode. But let's just stick to the script and how, you know, losing life here in Detroit is so serious that we have to start getting together and finding a way to end this murder here.
So true.
It is so important because every episode, you know, it's getting so close to home. We're losing loved ones and friends. So it's best that I keep promoting this every episode, even after I'll still keep promoting and letting you guys know what's happening here. If things have changed and what's happening. I mean, we don't know if it's coming from the economy. What is the murder? Why is the murder happening? And, you know, how long is it going to stay here? Because we know murders are happening all day, every day across the world. But here in Detroit, they have become outrageous, and it's more sporadic. It's more from people you never expected anymore.
Right, I see. Gotta be on the lookout, you know what I mean?
So you just have you have to be watchful, and if you do that, it'll just help everyone, you know, make things easier for everybody to get these psychos off the streets. So in other Detroit news, it was a drive-by shooting on the east side too. So it's been a lot of stuff going on the east side. And another thing that happened as well was the drive-by shooting that happened over there. And the drive-by shooting, it had lead one dead, and it injured 2 others in this drive-by shooting that occurred. Detroit police say one teenager were killed and 2 others injured in a gang-related drive-by shooting on the city's east side.
Damn.
It happened around 4 p.m. Monday on East Byrd and Avenue. Police say 2 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old were shot. One of the 16-year-olds were killed. The other is in critical condition. Police say he was on house arrest and was wearing a teller. The 15-year-old is in a stable condition. He is said to be a runaway. Detroit Chief Ralph Garvey has called a 2 p.m. news conference Tuesday to lay out community policing initiative in an attempt to reduce crimes like this one in the city. Now, all this is what their plans is to do, and hopefully with all of our prayers that this will happen. But it will not just take the police's help. It will not just take us talking about it and saying, wow, another child dying. We have to really go out there and, you know, we as parents or parents in general should not allow certain things. You know, there's no way a 15-year-old, 16-year-old should have a gun, should not be attending school, should be in the gang at all. You know, these things are occurring because we, as the older people, we're supposed to be role models. And if not role models, we should be able to find the right and everything for our generations to come. So, yeah, moving on to the last update for this week's episode is something that's crazy because last week we talked about also through the episode we talked about how Pastor Winans was robbed here.
Right, I seen that episode.
Yeah, and that was deep, and we all were sad for him
Right.
because we really felt like, you know, it's to the point now we're trapped somewhere because we feel like the people that are supposed to be the safest aren't anymore. You know, when you have a person like Reverend Winans who's been preaching here for years, and everyone who stays here knows or been to his church, it's kind of heartfelt. But by the end of that week, I updated that update with Winans' license being suspended and him having over 10 tickets and not even supposed to be driving.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that was the mouth dropping, you know,
My
of the
mouth is
week.
dropping right now. I ain't even heard that yet.
I mean,
That's
besides
crazy.
the fact that Pastor Winans, everybody know, has the biggest church here in Detroit. I mean, some people will never probably ever see buildings or homes that big, but it's a real nice church. Maybe 3 to 4 floors, nice, real. Everyone there dressed nice, stays nice. Every time you come, you see them dressed sharp. So that's one thing. Then when he was robbed for a $40,000 Rolex watch. I believe a trunk over $50,000. So the thing about it is, it's saying too much to a city that has gave too much, because Detroit has gave so much and has not got anything back in return, even from our newly charged ex-mayor, Kilpatrick, still not able to pay us back funds that he stole from our city. You know, not really having too many people that can support that fact and wanting to see us be paid back and see some of the things happening again here that was happening. They took in so many things from us as far as, you know, the state fair and the gyms and everything. They're taking it and they're putting it in different cities. They're making us pay now, wanting us to pay for city service. You know, these are things that we have to start speaking up about and being concerned about. But most of all, the murder rate has to change. So, but... And it just tripped me out. Like, I can't believe this pastor, you know, he's driving and his license is suspended. But let's get it more into detail about Pastor Winans in that. Well, records show popular Detroit pastor and gospel singing icon Margaret Winans has been suspended driver's license. And to top that, he has a warrant out for his arrest. So when he was carjacked, the Detroit News reports that the state suspended his license May 9th after he didn't pay 2 December traffic tickets in Hazel Park. And the news says reports show the warrant was issued in March 15th for failing to appear in the Hazel Park courtroom for driving in a suspended license. So March 15th, before you was carjacked, you knew that you had suspended his license, but you still drove. And the reason why some people are angry and they're speaking out, because he's going to be this week's People View, because every week I'm going to give you an update, and it's going to be a People View where you can see what people have to say, what they felt about that update, what they think about it. And he's our People View for this week, because a lot of people had a lot to say about what's going on with Margaret Winans. But let's finish talking about what's going on. So this warrant was issued March 15th for failing to appear in Hazel Park courtroom. Winans said in a statement Thursday he noticed warrants received because he had charged addresses and staffers were working to resolve the issue before carjacking. So he thought that the issue was, but how did you thought it was resolved if you didn't take care of it yourself? You sent your assistants to go do this? I mean, we as the public, we as the citizens of Detroit are not allowed to do these things. And that's the biggest thing for him as a pastor to say after being carjacked. Well, I don't want them to talk about this much because I don't want to feel like I'm any different than the other citizens. But then you go and get a parking ticket and you don't pay, and you drive around and you do this and you do that, and at the end of the day, you don't feel like you should have to pay. You don't feel like you should get your license suspended, and now you're driving on a suspended license. If we done that, we're going to jail.
Right to jail.
It's important that you know that it's not fair. And every week, every Sunday, we citizens are taking our money and we're going to contribute to God's word. This is what we believe that we're going to do. But like nowadays, religion is such a touchy subject, and I won't get into that, but all I can do say is that know what you are studying, what you believe in, do your research, what you watch. Even when you watch Exposed, you will always have to do your research. Like with these updates, every update will have a website where you can go and log on and pull up yourself all the information. You can go on www.fox2.com, Detroit, and get all the information I just read to you from Detroit. Information as far as what's going on with the city. You can always download that and get that information. Like
that's what's up. That's good info.
Yeah, and that's what we need to hear, because we are always fed with so many different lies about what our city is about. I mean, I know so many positive people here that are doing positive things, but nobody ever talks about it. And this show will be known for a show that promotes positive things, real things that are happening, no matter if they're good or bad things.
I know that's all I've seen is just good things, bad things, but it's just facts,
Yeah, and it's facts, many people may not want to hear. But, facts aren't always about what that person wants. It's about just getting them straight to the person's ear.
So true.
So let's move on, because this week's episode is kind of exciting because, like I said, it's an opposite version of one of my episodes I started off with the second season with, which is Who's Your Favorite Actor? But this episode is Who's Your Favorite Actress? And this week, me and my co-host, Mr. Cousteau, will both be telling us who our favorite actress is. And you get a chance to come on, give your comments, even tell us who your favorite actress is, and share, download, see MP3 iPhones, and just keep watching. So my favorite actress this week I have for you guys is Halle Berry. She's a very beloved, very how should I say, experienced actress. And I have a bio. I'm just going to read a few things because it's kind of thick. And she's been doing this for so long, but I'm just going to let you know a little bit about her and her life. Now, Halle Berry, she was born August 14th, 1966, an American actress and a former fashion model. Who knew that? A lot of people didn't know she was a fashion model. Berry received an Emmy, Golden Globe, SAG, and an NAACP Image Award for introducing Dorothy Dandridge. That was a good movie, I remember that. And won an Academy Award for Best Actress and was nominated for a BAFTA Award in 2001 for her performance in Monster Ball, which was a great movie, which probably was her breaking out role. Becoming the first and as of 2012, only woman of African American descent to have won the award for Best Actress. She is one of the most highly paid actresses in Hollywood, and also a Revlon spokesmodel. She has been involved in the production side of several of the films in which she performed. Becoming an actress, Berry entered several beauty contests, finishing as the first runner-up in Miss USA pageant 1986 and coming in 6th place in the Miss World pageant in 1986. So who knows that she had been in pageants and done all these other things other than acting before she really branched off. She made her film debut with a small role in 1991's Jungle Fever. This led to the starring role in the film Flintstones 1994, Barworth 1998, X-Men 2000, and its sequels as Bond Girl, Jinx and Die Another Day 2002. She also won the Golden Raspberry Award for the Worst Actress in 2005 for Catwoman, and accepted the award in person. one of the few performers to do so. So even when she received a reward for doing the worst acting, she came in and received that award. So who could knew that one of the best actors in the world would have received a reward for being one of the worst actresses? Which is deep. So like I said, when you do your research about somebody that you like and you want to know about them, it's one of the sites that I love going on, and I'm going to show you that I went on to find my favorite actress was www.wikipedia.com, which you can find out about any of your actors, or entertainers, and find out any information you may want to know about them.
Okay, that's what's up.
So, Mr. Cousteau, who is your favorite actress?
Well, I know me, being the great actor that I am, I had to pick one of the greatest ones out, Ms. Loretta Devine. She was born August 21st, 1949. Everyone knows she got her start in Broadway for the first production of Hair. She lent her voice to Eddie Murphy's, I believe it was called the PJs. It came out in the early 2000s. She played Muriel. She played a great part in that. She has made numerous guest appearances in many TV shows, including Ally McBeal. A little bit of her recent work include the '06 adaptation of Dreamgirls, which you all know had Beyonce in it, and Jennifer Hudson. She played a jazz singer, I believe. In 2011, she won an Emmy for the Best Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series for I believe it was a drama series called The Client's List. So she's done a lot in her, long career.
Okay, that's what's up. And I do love her acting skills. She's always been good at what she do.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good to know. Now let's get into some of the questions I have for you concerning our episode tonight, and let's give some of the viewers maybe some answers to some of the questions they may have, when it comes to who their favorite actresses are.
All right.
So, if you were, let's say, a judge on the Oscars, and you were to pick 4 best actresses in the world, who would they be and why?
Well, for me, Regina King, Loretta Devine, Neve Campbell, and Halle Berry. The only reason I picked these 4 is because they all play pretty strong, woman-type roles, those type of roles.
Real strong women, very strong. Okay, so name one actress you would put in what kind of movie? And describe what kind of.
Halle Berry. Well, I would put her in an erotic type of movie because, she just has that type of sexual, look. She got that tension in her, so,
Wow. She's getting kind of older now. She was born in 1966.
The older the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Okay. So, name 2 movies your favorite actress played in.
Well, my favorite actress was Loretta Devine, and she played in Waiting to Exhale and a movie called 4 Colored Girls. It wasn't the best Tyler Perry movie at all, but she was in that, and she played a good part.
True, so true, Mr. Cousteau. So, do you think black actresses make more money than other race actresses? And if true, why?
Well, I'm going to say no. It's usually the Caucasian actresses that make more, and you and I and y'all both know why.
We still have not made it, past all of that yet. We're getting there now. We're still getting there, but it'll take some time before we acknowledge for all the great work we put into the world. That is so true, Mr. Cousteau. So name a city where many actresses have came from or grew up in.
Well, California is the state, and LA would be the city.
has always been one of the most popular cities you always hear ladies say they come from or they moved to once they decided they wanted to be actresses. So are there any actresses that came from Detroit, and if you know one, name her?
Well, R.I.P. Aaliyah.
So true, so true.
Young and a budding.
And I wish I could have met her
actress.
before she passed. So shout out to Aaliyah. Rest in peace. What actress said the famous line, Celie? And what other roles has she played in?
Well, don't quote me on this, Exposed, but I'm going to take a shot at the dark. I'm going to trust my movie instincts, and I'll say Oprah in the color purple, and the other movies that she was in was, believe, a Raisin in the Sun amongst other movies, but everyone knows she has her own network channel on, so.
Okay, so true, so true. Now, I do believe that would be Oprah. Now, don't quote me as well because I've seen it so many times. I'm pretty sure everybody has. But we do know that it is Oprah, and she does have her own network. So that will be correct. Now, for my last question of the night, and I think everybody wants to know this because we probably been itching this in the back of our mind to want to know. Name a famous actress who was married to a famous actor.
What about Will Smith married to Miss Jada Pinkett Smith?
Ding, 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 ding. Great. And that is so perfect because I was thinking that in my head, but I just didn't know if you were thinking what I was thinking, Mr. Gusto, but you were. So that is the two, that is the actor and the actress who have been married together now over 8 years, so you might as well say a decade, and they're going strong, even though despite the rumors saying that they're getting divorced and rumors that Jada cheated, they still have been, pushing it and trying to make it in this relationship. Now, before we exit out of here this episode, I enjoy having you, Mr. Gusto. I want to give everybody this week's fact finder, which we do every week. Something that is a fact that you can go pull up and you can find out, whether it's a question or something, that a statement that I'll bring up that is a fact that you'll be able to bring up. Now, this week's fact finder is the top 10 cities actresses visit often. So, let's try to jump right in here so we can find out. We're going to start off with number 10. And number 10 was Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Now, this is the city they like to visit often. Let's just look at this. So this must, wow. I just want to show a city that is visited often, but a lot of garbage, it looks like, out there.
Dirty ass city.
Just garbage.
Looks a little bit like New York to me.
Yeah, and it says the Garbage Pacific Patch, also described as the Patch Trash Vortex. So I guess that's another word they call that.
Kind of dirty.
Number 9 would have been Izu Islands. It looks like they have a few volcanoes, but it also looks very nice and relaxing there. So this is another place up top for our corner where they like to visit often.
Doesn't look like a place I would ever go.
Me neither. I think that's not for me. Now, we're going to go to number 9. Number 9 is the Zone of Alienation. That's in Eastern Europe.
What? I'm okay on that place too.
Eastern Europe. Yep.
No aliens for me.
Number 8 is Bolivia. It looks kind of beautiful if you look at the lower bottom picture.
I just heard that they got a messed up economy over there, so.
It kind of looks kind of foggy, but it doesn't look too bad.
Okay.
Next,
That could be all.
number 7, was I on 8 or 7? Number 8. Mud volcanoes of, this is in Aspergen.
Okay.
And number 6 is in Canada.
Canada, huh?
Yep, Astromine.
Can I see a picture of that?
Yeah, but it has a crazy, scary picture. I don't know if I would visit that. Astromine.
What is that? Crossbones, skull and bones? No, I'm okay on skull and bones.
So your research for you go visit some of these places
now.
So that is in Canada. Then
Canada.
another place that looks kind of weird, and it's also an island. It's called Ramri Island in Burma. Burma. At the bottom, you know, where you see the swirly roads. Some of the other vacation trips they had for them.
That's what's up.
Can't believe some of these celebrities go here.
Wow.
Now, number 4 is in England. And with Poison Gardens.
Poison Gardens.
Yes.
What's wrong with these rich people?
Wow.
I know I'm rich, but I don't go to places like that.
So, if you see at the bottom left corner, you can see where they visit. It looks peaceful, but it's too dark for me.
Yeah, a little bit. Doesn't look like my type of place to go either.
So I don't think I'll be going there.
Not romantic.
So, and number 3.
A lot of these places that they are going to visit just look downright
weird. It's in Brazil.
Weird.
We have one place in Brazil.
Oh, Brazil? Okay.
I said the Grande.
Brazil
It's
is
like
a
an
nice
old
place.
time place, but.
Oh, okay. Looks nice. Doesn't look that bad.
And so if you want to know about any of the top 10 places where celebrities like to visit, or let's just say actresses, because that's what this week's fact finder is.
Okay.
The top 10 actresses, cities actresses like to visit. You want to find out where these cities is. If you ever became an actress and you wanted somewhere to visit, you could go on to www.blogspot.com/2001/11/top/10 places you don't want to visit. So go on there and check it out. Check us out every Monday at 10. Thank my guest, Mr. Cousteau, for coming to the city, giving us little acting skills, as you can say, here on Exposed. And catch us next week. We're out. Deuces.